this video. You could consider it part 3 and the final part of our interval video series. There's really only one other way that you're going to be confronted with interval inversions. And it's a little bit tricky because we need to reverse engineer. That's kind of a fancy term. We need to reverse engineer some of the process up to this point. So here, looking in bass clef, this gives you the bottom note of an interval, and instead of giving you both notes, then you have to figure out the interval and do the inversion. This gives you the bottom note, and it gives you the interval that it wants you to make from that bottom note. So I think that these are fun because it's sort of like a puzzle, but I'm a nerd and I like puzzles and I like music. So if this isn't fun, I'm sorry, but this is what we're going to do. So it says here that the generic interval needs to be a third. So we're in bass clef, so this is a B. So B, C, D, 1, 2, 3. So we know that the next note is going to be some sort of D. Now, we know that we need this to be a major third above that B. So if we look at our interval sheet, you know, the grid, my interval famous grid, we would know that a major third needs 4 half steps. And so if we count up from B on the piano, so we're starting here on B, if we count up from B 4 half steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, it would give us this black key. Now if we look at the example, this black key is either D sharp or E flat, but because the generic interval of a third makes the second note in this interval D, we need to call this note D sharp. So D sharp is the note that's a generic interval of a third while being 4 half steps higher than B. So D sharp is a major third above B. So we can get the piano out of there. So now doing the interval inversion is exactly like what we've practiced so far. Major inverts to minor, third inverts to sixth, B goes up an octave, D sharp comes across an octave. Now if we wanted to check our work, which, hint hint, is always a good idea, D, E, F, G, A, B, so sixth, yes. If we count from D sharp to B on the piano, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 8 half steps. Interval of a sixth with 8 half steps does indeed make this minor sixth. Let's do one more example like this. Get that piano back. My keyboard brand keyboard. Well, okay. Where are we going? How about that? So here we have a B flat, remember we're in bass clef, and it's telling us that we need an interval, a sixth above B. So B, C, D, E, F, G. So we're going to need some sort of G, because that's a sixth higher than B. Now if we go to our keyboard, we're going to know that a minor sixth, minor sixth, if we look at our interval chart, is going to need 8 half steps. So we're going to come to our keyboard and we're going to start on B flat, which is right here. We're going to count up 8 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this key can be called F sharp or G flat, and because this interval needs the basic generic interval of a sixth, or B flat to some sort of G, we have to call this G flat. So G flat is indeed a minor sixth above B flat. And then we do the interval inversion as always. Minor is going to invert to major. Sixth is going to invert to third. B flat goes up an octave. G flat comes over an octave. We always copy the intervals, or the accidentals. Third, G, A, B, and minor third, or major third, G flat to B flat, checks out. That's how you do interval inversions this other way.